This is the fourth video evaluating expansionary fiscal policy, and you've seen the basics of this in the videos before. Expansionary fiscal policy is where you're causing aggregate demand to go up. That's your objective. It's a demand side policy. It's through increasing government spending and or decreasing taxation, and this is the ADAS diagram to show that happening. AD increasing here and real output going up from Y to Y1. This point is about, are all people impacted by expansionary fiscal policy in the same way? Why or why not? So this again would be evaluation if you were answering a longer question on this. And things that you need to consider here are, where does the government spending occur? That would be the first question. What do the government choose to spend their money on? Are they spending it on schools? Are they spending it on the NHS? Prisons, defence, roads, policing? So there are lots of things that the government can spend their money on. And is this actually impacting all people equally? So for example, people who don't send their children to state schools won't be impacted by this. If you don't use the NHS very much, then it wouldn't benefit you particularly. If you don't drive a car or don't travel very much in the country, then you may not be as impacted by the roads being improved. So this would just be the area that the government are spending their money on. Another point is, if we're decreasing taxation, how is this done? So how is tax decreased? So are we talking about direct taxes being changed? So are we talking about income tax being changed? Are we talking about corporation tax being changed? If you're talking about income tax for individuals, are they going to decrease the rate of income tax for all bands? So will it be for everybody who is at the moment paying income tax? Will the amount of income tax that they pay be decreased? Or will they just decrease the amount of income tax that's paid for people in the lowest band, so the people on the lower incomes? Or will they decrease income tax for people in the highest bands who are getting the highest pay? So will everybody be affected equally by this? Also, you want to think about, if it's corporation tax for businesses, do all businesses see a decrease in corporation tax, or do they introduce bands for the reduction of the corporation tax for different companies, and then they'll be impacted differently by that? And the knock-on effect here, remember this is about people, but if you're seeing all firms having to pay less corporation tax, that might mean that they will be able to grow, and then they'll take on more people, they'll be employing more people, and that would affect the people in the country. Another thing to consider is, if it's indirect tax that they decrease. So indirect tax, for example, in the UK would be value added tax. Remember, that's paid on goods and services. And if VAT goes down, it will probably actually impact people on lower incomes more, because for them now products are going to be cheaper. If you have a very high salary or you have a lot of personal wealth, then even if products, goods and services are cheaper in the shops because VAT is lower, it won't have such an impact on you because you already have a larger income or amount of wealth. So you need to think about which type of tax is changing and which groups that will be affecting. And the final thing that you need to think about, whether all people are impacted or how much they are impacted, you need to think of the size, or another word for that is the magnitude of the change. That's really fundamental. So if the government spending is increasing, how much does it increase by and in which areas? If taxes are going down, which type of tax, but also what will be the size of the fall and how much of an impact will that have on people? And these are the main ways that you can evaluate this point here.